I really like Resident Evil. That's a lie. I really like this one character specifically. Hi, sorry you call me Cuptoast, but please, call me Crumb. Cuptoast was my father's name. I know that my channel isn't the kind to make long storytime videos. I normally do animations to music videos with flashy colors and singing, but I've decided to try new things. Mostly because taking 3 months to make one 40-second animation isn't the best output speed, so I'm gonna do what 90% of animation kids wanted when they were little, which is a storytime video. I don't have the best microphone, and I haven't really done anything like this before, so please understand if the quality isn't the best. I'm currently writing a script for my Notes app brainstorm that honestly barely qualifies to have any brain involved in the process. So let's just hope for the best, and if this does poorly, I'll just delete my YouTube channel and look into a new passion. If you guys haven't gotten the hint from my last 2 animations being entirely about Resident Evil, then I'm here to tell you all directly that I might like Resident Evil. Just a little. I don't know, it might just be a phase. Saying I like Resident Evil might be a bit of an exaggeration though. I wouldn't say I like the entire franchise. I'm kind of in it for just one guy, and that man is Ethan Winters. I don't know what captivated me. I'm not sure why he grabbed my attention over all the other characters, but something about him is just so alluring. And do not get me wrong, I am not attracted to this man. The kind of affection I have for him is the kind of affection you have towards a cool bug. I'd put him in a jar with holes in it, and I'd shake him around. But I would not imagine him kissing me. That would be disgusting. He's like a pet to me. What I like to do is imagine making him kiss other people. For those who don't know and have been mildly disturbed for like the past 2 minutes, Ethan Winters is a fictional character from the hit game series Resident Evil, specifically featuring in Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8. Finish! He's one of the newer characters in the franchise and was introduced as a separate storyline from the past characters that was eventually connected back to one of the earlier main protagonists. And he was introduced to mainly negative feedback. Listen, I was in the Ethan trenches back then. Past Crumb would excitedly Google Ethan Winters and like 17 hate articles would come up. Ethan was not a favorable character within the Resident Evil cast. Compared to Chris Redfield, who literally exploded rocks, Ethan Winters didn't exploded rocks. Aww. Ethan was introduced in a first-person style of gameplay, something the Resident Evil franchise has never done before. So that led to some people thinking that Ethan was a player insert because you never saw his face. Which, no he wasn't. He's not YN, he has a wife. That was like his whole thing. Ethan in the first game is not very reactive. His humor is really dry. For some reason, he sounds like he's about to pass out for like the entire duration of the game, which I personally like to think it's because he received the email from his missing wife at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night and just instantly drove straight from work and directly to Louisiana, but that's besides the point. Now, you may be thinking, his wife is missing? Which yes, she was, but this isn't a Resident Evil 7 and 8 recap. If you guys want that, then maybe I'll make one, but we need to stay on track. Ethan is pretty bland in the first game. I can't deny that. But in the second one, yeah, he's still a little loserish, and he's kind of stupid.
Oh, hands off, mister.
But if you still dislike him by Resident Evil 8, you just don't see the vision. You just don't see the vision. I know Ethan isn't the coolest compared to all the other characters, but come on. For those who don't know, Ethan's whole thing is that he does not want to participate in anything that is happening like all the time. 99% of the time, he is confused and lost, and then he finds out what's happening and dies. 3 times, actually. Unlike all the other past main protagonists, Ethan isn't a soldier or a government agent fighting bioweapons. He was a 33-year-old systems engineer from Los Angeles. Ethan got involved because his wife was actually the one who was out with the bioweapons, which you go girl, I think. But what I'm trying to say is that Ethan didn't start out in the Air Force or as a cop. He was straight up just a guy in computer science. And, in my opinion, that made him more interesting. And you can see it too. After he kills a family of 5 in Resident Evil 7, he goes straight back to living a normal life. He doesn't think, I'm gonna keep killing families of 5 because I'm good at it. He just settles down and tries to have a family because he genuinely does not want to do any of that stuff again. Then he kills another family of 5. At this point, he's done Chris Redfield's job for him twice, so there's that. But the point I'm trying to make is that there's just something so special to me about a character whose dream is to be happy with his family and constantly have that be challenged and basically have to fight for his family to be together. There's something so sweet about how, unlike the other goals of the characters, which is to basically save the world from bad people, which isn't a bad thing, it's just different, Ethan's goal is to save just this one person that he holds really dear to his heart. All of his actions and plans and all decisions he makes are done to survive. Not for himself, but so he can save the person he loves. Both of his games are centered around that idea. The idea of family bonds, with the good and the bad. And it works. The first time, but by the second game, he runs out of time. He still wins though, because the person he loved most in the whole world was able to make it out, thanks to him. Isn't that like the sweetest, most saddest thing ever? Listen, I might be biased, just a little. But he's genuinely such a good character to me. You guys just don't see the vision. I cannot stress the amount of impact this make-believe man has done to me. Which is actually a perfect segue to my next topic about how much my art improved from him. Sometimes people ask me, how do you get better at art? And I would answer, I don't know, I'm sorry. Because I didn't know, and I was sorry. But let me just say, right now, that the key to improving at art is to get obsessed with this one white guy and consequently draw him almost daily for 3 years, make a 200-page fan comic, and create 2 whole animations for it. Now, you may think, if I drew daily for 3 years, then of course I'll get better. But you do not understand the insane change I've had in my art because of him. It's like someone put my right hand on steroids. On paper, drawing daily doesn't even sound that bad. A little doodle or practice sketch now and then. But I was busting out fully colored drawings paired with mini comics. You guys don't understand, it was dire. I would go one day without drawing him, and it was like I was dying. I was having Ethan withdrawal symptoms. By the time I had gotten into Resident Evil 8, or more specifically into Ethan, the hype had died down a little, and there wasn't a lot of Ethan content to consume. There is all the old stuff people had drawn that I sniffed out and dug up, but after that it was a pretty quiet fandom, at least where I was. At the time, I hadn't been introduced to the beautiful Ethan world of Tumblr. So for the first year of violently needing Ethan content, the way I sustained myself was by feeding myself. I would make content solely for myself, and I would not post it, because I'm cuptoast. People want to see the cat, not me gush over some video game character. Eventually, when I stopped feeling like I was actually dying every time I posted some fanart, I started to dabble a bit in the fandom. And that was the best decision I've ever made. Remember when I said the fandom was quiet? That means whenever I checked the Ethan Winters hashtag on Twitter, which was every 2 minutes, even if one person posted, they had all my attention. Ethan fans were like a dying breed. I was doing a species restoration with the way I lured Ethan fans into the captivity of a glorified group chat, known as Ew Club. quite the flattering name, I know. But unfortunately, Capcom wanted to kick Ethan when he was 6 feet down by making his initials literally ew. But let me just say, Ew Club is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Ew Club was originally a Discord server made by my friend Jean, but when it started getting a little bigger, they passed the ownership to me because they didn't know how to handle a Discord server. I mean, I didn't either, but I was okay with stumbling around blindly and stubbing my toes. Finding friends in a community where everyone can bond over the same shared interests is, first of all, a great way to find and meet new people. And second of all, like the best thing ever. Because all these people see the vision. I have made so many new friends because of this. Despite the fact that most of my friends have moved on to new interests by now, I still love talking to them. Not every conversation is legally mandated to be about Ethan. It's just how we found each other. I have made a lot of close connections with people that I probably wouldn't... I've made so many close connections with people that I probably wouldn't have been able to become as close with if it weren't for that server. And Ethan was the catalyst. I am so glad that liking this one character has led to me making so many new connections, and now they're all stuck with me. Just as a disclaimer, I want to add, please be careful on the internet, especially if you're a young kid, which I am assuming a lot of you watching are. Not everyone is the person they claim to be, and make sure you do not share any personal information with someone on the internet, even if they are your friend. Ethan Winters, as insignificant as he may be, compared to people like Amelia Earhart, really changed my life. That was incredibly weird to write, and now it's incredibly weird to be reading. But it's true, surprisingly. It's amazing how much of a change this single interest has had in my life. Thank you, Capcom, for making Ethan Winters. I can't wait to never get any more content of him in the franchise because he decided to kill him off and write off the rest of his family. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it if you guys stuck around to the end of the video. Hopefully if this does well, I can make more storytime type videos, and I promise it won't always be about Ethan Winters. Here's a recording of me scrolling through my Twitter fan art hashtag I took on my phone because I don't know how Jaden Animations does the PowerPoint scroll thing, and I made this entire video on flipaclip and CapCut. It's also only like 12 seconds long because I ran out of storage on my phone. Thanks for watching despite the bumps. Hugs and kisses. Mwah, mwah. Bye! Hello everyone, I will try to keep this short and make sure that you're properly stimulated throughout the announcement. Today, July 20th, right now, at 2 p.m. CST, probably 2:12 p.m. if you watch the entire video, I am dropping a plushie with makeshift. Look how stupid she looks. Don't we look similar? Not me being stupid, but we look similar. And look, you can take off her box and reveal the void face thingy one. The one that we all know and love. And it's basically a 2 for 1. Because you can have box crumb, or you can have this thing. And if you have purchased the key, yes, it's a cat, from the last drop, you can do this. Bam! That's basically 3 for 1 if you bought the third one, so it's not 3 for 1, but still. We need to sell 200 of these in order to hit the goal to have them get produced. So, if you're interested, there is a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, goodbye.